you doing, you guys? It's me, Kianna, coming at you once more today. And I'm coming at you because this is the season right now that you want to fix lots of homemade stews, things like that. What we call comfort food. Now, this is a good way to get vegetables into your family's body because this soup doesn't have any meat, so you want to have this soup either as a main dish with, if you're an adult, with some cornbread or something like that, or some crusty bread, or you can do this soup as an addition to whatever meal that you have. You may want to start off with a traditional soup and salad. Also, this is a good soup to fix alongside like some grilled cheese. So, basically, you can use this soup for any and everything, whether that's main dish or side dish. It's very cheap, very packed with flavor and taste. And what we're going to call this today is Kianna's Creole Homemade Soup. So, let us begin. What you're going to need is a big pot like this. You're going to need a ladle. I got this one from Dollar Tree. And you're going to need a frying pan as well. And something like this, or a scooper, because you're going to saute some of the vegetables before you actually place them into the pot. Now, as far as ingredients, I'm going to start with, we're going to need margarine or butter. Butter is much better when you're dealing with homemade soups because stock and good butter is one of the secrets that a lot of restaurants use that they don't tell you. And that's why their soups are so much richer, so much creamier. And the other secret is they use a little bit of heavy cream. So these are the three ingredients that you want to incorporate into any of your soups that you make at home, and they will add a much creamier texture to the palate. A lot of restaurants, high-end restaurants, use these three things: butter, heavy cream, and good stock. They do not use water. You want to make sure any meal that you're placing, as far as soup, replace anything that you would say or would call for water with good stock. Now, again, you're going to have your butter. You're going to have your chicken stock. I got this on sale at Safeway yesterday, $2 for $1 actually, these containers. You're going to need a quarter head of cabbage. You're going to need about 3 stalks of celery, 2 onions. You're going to also need 2 cans of mixed vegetables. You're going to need 1 can of your diced tomatoes with green chili, a can of your green beans, a small can of your tomato paste. And all of these ingredients actually are some of the ingredients, if you look back on my videos where I tell you how you can accomplish your meal for $10 and under, feeding a family of 4 to 6. These are things that you're going to already have in your cabinet. So literally, this meal will only cost you maybe about $2, okay? Maybe 3, okay? Because most of these things you're going to already have into your cabinet. So if you already have these things, it actually doesn't cost you anything. So free is always better, isn't it? You're going to have your Cajun or your Creole seasoning, your crushed red pepper, little accent, some adobe seasoning, some pure or fresh ground pepper, and you don't need much of that. And the sour cream is going to be, after the soup is done, if anybody wants it, they can have a dollop of sour cream on top of their soup, as well as you want to sprinkle a little bit of cilantro. And let us begin. Now, what you want to do is you want to first start off with your vegetables that you have to saute. Now, the vegetables that we're going to saute are going to be the cabbage, the onion, and the celery. The rest of the vegetables are going to be in the can. So right after I chop these up, and right before we saute them in our butter, we're just going to go ahead and put in a big pot our chicken broth, as well as our canned vegetables, also our tomato paste. You're going to put your seasonings in, and then you're just going to bring that to a boil. Once that's to a boil, you can throw in, at that point, your vegetables will be sauteed, the ones that we're doing. Once they're tender, you're just going to bring those over to the pot of vegetables and stock that you have. Throw those in, and then you're going to turn your burners down. And at that point, what you're going to do is what we call simmer. You're going to simmer that for as long as you like. Now, if you have a crock pot, you can simmer this for as long as you like as well. And this is a great soup to use or stew to use to basically get some use out of that crock pot as well. So, you want to dice this because you want them to be in spoon-sized pieces. So you're going to dice this up, this cabbage. Again, making sure that you have some butter as well. Now, a lot of these vegetables, such as the ones that we're going to saute, are going to cook down because vegetables naturally have water in it. And once you saute them, it's going to what we call wither. And it's going to, the water is going to expel from the vegetable. So it's going to cook down slightly. Okay? But keep in mind, we're going to add all of those canned vegetables as well. So this is going to create a big, huge pot of soup. And like I said, this is a great thing to keep inside of your refrigerator, just to have on the side of each meal that you fix all week long. You can also take this as a light lunch if you're going to work or if you're watching your weight. As for me, I like to have things like this for when Nene gets home from school. I make sure I prepare something like this for her, and when she gets home from school, rather than grabbing a regular snack to hold her over to dinner, I would have this ready for her. And it's a great transition from coming from the cold air, the brutally cold air, and coming into a warm home and being welcomed with a warm bowl of soup. So that's what I fix soups and stuff for. And it's a hearty, she gets her mandatory vegetables a day with this soup. And this season, like I said, in winter season, I like to fix stews and soup, and I will be sharing with you guys lots of recipes from this Creole soup to homemade chicken and rice soup to this soup I make called bacon cheeseburger soup, to all kinds of homemade chilies I'll be making, all kinds of chowders I'll be making. I will be sharing them all with you guys. I cook more in the winter because you're home more often and the kids have to be home, which in turn you have to cook a little bit more. So now while I was talking, I made sure I diced all of this cabbage in little teeny bite-sized pieces. And again, it's a whole frying pan work right now, but it's going to cook down. So now we're just going to slice down our stalks of celery until you make two halves like this. And then you're going to dice it. Again, not making the pieces too small, but you don't want to make them too huge either. Because I've noticed children do not like extra chunky anything. Whether that's extra chunky tomato sauce, they don't like extra chunky vegetables. So you just want to make it not too small to the point where you don't even recognize it, but you don't want to make them too huge either. And I'll hold up a piece just so you can see it in a second. the sizes that you want to go after for your vegetables. Just so it's appealing to the eye as well as the palate. You want to get pieces like this. No bigger than this. Okay? And the reason for you're going to saute these vegetables is to want to add extra flavor. You're infusing the butter into the soup as well. And also it allows these vegetables, which are going to be the hardest to cook down, or takes the longest to cook down, it basically speeds up the process of cooking them down and letting them be just as tender as the other vegetables. You don't want your soup to have some vegetables hard and some tender. It just isn't pleasing to the palate. So basically, so the soup can have some cohesiveness to it, you want to saute the vegetables that's going to be longer to cook. Now we've done the celery and the bite-sized pieces, and you want to do the onion as well. And for this, you're going to probably use about, I would use 2 onions, again, because it's going to cook down. The reason why I can use onion is because Chuck is a grown man that does not like vegetables, believe it or not. And I try to get it in on you guys, and I'll actually tell you one of my secrets of how to get some vegetables into your family. He's not listening right now, so I'll tell it in a second. And he doesn't know I use this in a lot of our recipes that he eats. But if he sees it or he knows it's there, he will have it fit. So, one of the things, he's not going to eat this soup, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and make it visual, that you can actually see the onion. But one of the things that I've learned from owning a daycare many years ago is pureeing is your best friend. The reason why is because you can puree any vegetable till it looks like baby food, okay? And add that to any meal and no one would know. And I guarantee you really won't know the difference. The reason why is because once you puree in it, it kind of takes on, once you add it to a meal, whatever flavor you have in the dish. Okay, so you still get the vegetables in, you still get the vitamins and all that good stuff, but yet they don't know that they're eating. And I am one to puree things like squash, eggplant, all of those things, and I put it into things like spaghetti sauce, anything that calls for spaghetti sauce, because spaghetti sauce and the acid that's in the spaghetti sauce is powerful, and it overpowers the vegetable that you're putting in. So that's one secret I have that I'll pass on to you guys on how to actually get vegetables in your kids as well as your big kids, like your husband. And I've always done that for many, 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 many years. Like I said, when I had my daycare son, I opened it up when I was 21 years old, and I had it from when I was 21 to 27. And when I started off with a family daycare, that's when I started doing that. So, and they've always ate it, so trust me, it works. And if you think it's time consuming, puree it, put it in sandwich bags, individual small sandwich bags, drop it in the back of the freezer, nobody even knows it's there. And you'll have it handy whenever you want to just throw it in. So, try it, let me know if you like it, you guys. Now, what I've done is while I was talking about that, I've diced 1 onion. And now we're going to dice the other. Also, keeping in mind that you want these to be bite-sized pieces as well. You don't want long strands of onion.
cooking time.
Right, guys. That onion is done as well. We're going to throw that into the mixture. Then we're going to saute. As this is sauteing, you want to add some of your little seasonings, because this is all a process of basically layering flavors. Any good stew or any good soup has layers of flavor. My eyes are watering. What I just added was a little bit of adobe, some Cajun or Creole seasoning, and some accent. So, we're going to put that aside because that's going to be sauteed. Now we're going to add our chicken stock. Ooh, my eyes always water, you guys. And I know all the tricks are actually how to not make your eyes water, but I just always never do it. So. All right, you guys. You're going to add your chicken broth. And with chicken broth, you can use Swanson or you can use name brand or off brand. It really doesn't matter. Again, this is just replacing the water. You also, ladies, one second. You want to take advantage of the water that your vegetables come in as well, because that is actually what you call vegetable broth, and they actually sell that in the store. So again, you're going to use 2 cans of your mixed vegetables, which has a little bit of everything in it. That's why I put it in your cabinet. You're going to add your shortcut green beans. And the reason why you add shortcut is I'll show you in a second. Shortcut looks like that, little pieces, rather than having long pieces. But I do have some fresh green beans. I'm going to show you guys how to make that with some bacon and sauteed and stuff good for Christmas. But the shortcut green beans is good for soups because they're short. Exactly what the title says. And they're bite-sized. Okay? Then you're going to add your diced tomatoes and green chilies. That's going to help create that red color that you want. And to help that process even more, you're going to add some tomato paste. And we're going to add a package of your regular onion soup. You don't want to use beef one for this one because this is a vegetarian soup. Just a regular onion soup is fine. You want to bring that seasoning in, and we're going to add the other seasonings as well. But I'm just going to stir this in. Once all these items are in here, you're going to put this on the stove and just bring it to a boil. Once it's at a boil, again, we're going to go back and then add our sauteed vegetables, but they should be done at that point. And then you're just going to turn it down and let this simmer as long as you like. The longer the better. Not because the vegetables won't be tender, but because the taste just will be more intense. So we're going to add this whole can of tomato paste, and this is going to bring that color out that you want, that reddish color. Looking more on the Creole side. When you think of Creole, you think of fiery, you think of spicy, you think of flavorful, you think of festiveness, you think of all of those great things. So you definitely want to incorporate all the tastes that represents that, and all the color as well. Again, if you want to have this as a main dish, ladies, you can have this with some cornbread on the side. And I have a recipe for that as well. If you look back at my videos, and I show you how to make cornbread, and it actually tastes like cake. Just like your grandma used to fix it. If anybody wants me to show them how to make that again, I will. But you want to definitely have some cornbread, some crusty bread on the side of this. Or like I said, always have this on the side of your meal. And try this with your kids as far as when they come home from school. They'll appreciate it. Just seeing, coming from the weather, like I said, and having a hot bowl of soup waiting for them. It just shows that you cared a little bit extra. They just to throw some chips on the counter. Okay. We're going to put in our Cajun or Creole seasoning, some more adobe, more accent. And I tell you, ladies, just to watch the pepper. That's why you haven't seen me add any crushed red pepper or any of the pure ground pepper yet. The reason for that is because salt and pepper, you want to be careful in your soup, because it can actually change the whole taste of it. It can overpower. So you want to bring this to a boil, taste, and then add pepper. Okay, and salt. But as far as all the other ingredients, they don't have salt, so you can just add that and then just add flavor for it. Okay? Now this is how your soup is going to look before you bring it to a boil. Now right now we have Creole seasoning, Cajun seasoning, we have adobe, a little bit of accent. And then we're going to saute all of these vegetables. That's right there. We're going to saute that in butter. We're going to add a little bit of heavy cream to this, just a little bit, and add a little bit of a little bit more butter, and then add the sauteed vegetables. And again, bring this to a boil and then simmer. So, once this is done, I will show you guys the end result. I hope you enjoy. This is a great way to incorporate the vegetables that you need into your diet, and also keep you nice and cozy and warm for the winter days and nights. So thank you all for watching and viewing, commenting, and subscribing. Love you all.